Hey everyone, it's Fitz with your daily delivery. Hope you're doing well. I'm good. Today's going to be interesting because I have a vague topic idea, the transfer portal and Kansas State football. So I'm going to run with it. I don't know what I'm going to say. We're just going to talk about it. It's like throwing out a topic and run with it, man. Look, Monday's press conference was a dud for football. It was boring. Wasn't much information. I mean, they're getting ready to play at Oklahoma State. Nobody's going to like thump their chests or say they feel sorry for them. They're going to say all the right things, and what they say is meaningless. So let's try to find something to talk about. I saw a comment on, I believe it was the Power Talk, about how K-State failed in the transfer portal this past season. They didn't really get any help from it, and I don't think I really agree with that. But let's get into that right after I get into the fact that you're not subscribing to this YouTube channel. Are you? I ask every day, fairly politely. I'm going to stop being polite. Please subscribe. Thank you very much. Leave those comments. So the transfer portal, the premise of the comment was that they didn't get much help out of the portal. And a couple thoughts. First, Quay Moss has been a help. The receivers, Tibbs and Bradley's been hurt a little bit, have been a big help. And there's other guys. You know, the offensive line depth is greatly enhanced with the portal. But the main guy, you went and got your starting left tackle out of the portal, and he has a health issue right as practice opens, right before it. And you don't get him all year. Coach Kleiman admitted today that he won't be playing this season. We kind of knew that. And he'll be redshirting. So what's that mean for next year? Is he back? Is he going to be in the mix? Is John Pastore now the left tackle for sure? I think so. So yeah, but a bigger point of this is K-State doesn't use the portal very often to go find headliners. That's not how they've been accessing the transfer portal and using their limited NIL funds, because there is a limit here. They have discovered that everyone's moving forward with expanding their NIL and the amount of money they spend, and K-State's kind of in neutral right now with it. That's a scary proposition. If you don't have NIL money to go get players when you really need them, you're going to struggle, period. But now Tech set the tone. If you have lots of NIL money and you use it wisely, which is the most amazing part of this to me, Texas Tech went out and rebuilt their lines using portal people, really good, high-paid players, and found a way to make it a cohesive unit. It's impressive. It doesn't always work that way. You know that very well if you're a K-State basketball fan. It hasn't worked. This year it seems to be working for basketball. The portals is as much about finding the right personalities that fit your locker room, fit your needs, as much as the right talent. And right now, Kansas State can't compete for the highest levels of talent because their NIL fund is somewhat limited and aimed internally to try to retain players instead of go out and buy new players that then have to acclimate themselves to the system. This year it'll be interesting. I can see a desire probably to use the portal to find another frontline running back, not a depth guy like they brought in this season, a real starting running back like they did in Chris Kleiman's first year at Kansas State when he brought in James Gilbert, who ended up being pretty darn good. I bet you they would love to find another one just like him. So while Kansas State has used the portal in football, it's used it differently than a lot of other schools. It's provided depth and bolstered thinness at certain positions. And yeah, if you needed a left tackle, they've gone out and found left tackles. They can do that in the portal. But now the price is going to go up because Texas Tech has proven what they've done works. And can Kansas State keep up from a financial aspect? Right now, the answer is no. Until some donors step up and really start funding football at a higher level, I'm afraid for the future of Kansas State football, because this has become about dollars, flat out about dollars, and not in a way that Kansas State can overcome. Kansas State's always overcome the programs having more financing at Texas or Oklahoma. But now that you're paying rosters, it's hard to overcome a roster that is well paid when it's not just well paid to pay them, which some coaches do. It's well paid because they're worth it. they're getting value out of their dollar, even though the dollars were a lot. It'll be interesting to watch K-State in the portal this offseason. It'll be fascinating to see if they get more competitive with dollars, if they decide to use some of that money they've turned internally to go to the portal. How does that impact the current roster? Will we see a lot of guys leave after a disappointing season that appears to be on track for a 6-6 regular season? I don't know. Be a fun, or at least interesting offseason. We'll see how they use the portal. We'll see if they go find some guys that can immediately help them. And will they have more money? At the end of the day, it's about that. Do you have the resources to compete at the highest level? It's a question K-State really needs to ask itself. And is there a way to make it happen? Is the money out there? Can it be found? I don't know.